Okay, girl. Morgan Gillory solved a kidnapping using cucumbers and tomatoes. I need you to sit with that for a second. Can we talk? Listen, if you don't know me yet, hi, I'm obsessed with women who are smarter than everybody in the room and refuse to shut up about it, so this is exactly the channel for you. We talk high potential every single month, we talk Morgan every single month, and today's episode gave us so much, so stick with me because I'm about to walk you through the whole thing, moment by moment, like you're sitting right next to me. Subscribe now because, girl, I promise you don't want to miss what's coming. Okay, so first, quick setup for anybody just tuning in. Morgan used to be a cleaner at the LAPD until they found out her IQ is basically off the charts, and now she consults on cases. Today is her badge day, and she is glowing, walking through the precinct holding this little plastic badge like it's a designer bag, arguing with a man named Robert from HR about signing the fine print because girl trusts nobody. But before any of the case stuff even kicks off, there's this quiet moment I need you to picture clearly, because it matters so much later. Morgan is walking past the break room, and she notices a woman sitting alone, hunched over, visibly falling apart, hands shaking around a cup she's not even drinking. Morgan doesn't know her, doesn't know she's connected to any case. She just walks in, sits down next to her, and says something like, "I think wherever your girls are, we're going to find them. No big speech, no interrogation, just presence." That woman is Mia. And that one small choice, comforting a total stranger before she even knows the stakes, is the emotional backbone of this entire episode. Keep that in your pocket, girl. Turns out Mia's daughters, Ellie and Paige, never got dropped off by their dad Wendell the night before. No calls, no texts, nothing. And the detective assigned to the case, Kaitlin and Morgan? So picture the whole precinct going quiet the second they realise this isn't just a file, it's family. They drive out to Wendell's house. Picture full off-grid situation, solar panels on the roof, a compost bin by the door, mason jars of homemade jam lined up on a shelf. Very I compost my own feelings energy. Inside, Morgan stops in front of a framed photo of Ellie hugging her favourite stuffed animal, and then she spots that exact same stuffed animal sitting untouched on the bed. She turns to the room and says there's no way that child leaves the house without it. And I'm sorry, but the woman is right every single time. Then, the garden moment. Morgan is standing at the edge of Wendell's greenhouse, staring down at neat little rows of vegetables, and she goes, "Wait, cucumbers and tomatoes are not companion plants. They compete for nutrients. Wendell would never plant them side by side like this." Everybody around her is looking for missing children, and Morgan's out here doing a full agricultural inspection. But guess what? She kneels down, brushes the soil aside with her hand, and realizes it's been freshly turned, days old at most. Someone rearranged this exact spot on purpose. That something turns out to be Wendell's body, buried right under his own tomato plants. The nerve of this show to turn a vegetable bed into a crime scene, I was not ready. Turns out Wendell was about to go public with evidence that his rich father-in-law, hotel mogul John Ashford, had been bribing officials to build hotels on protected land. So now everyone circling this family has a secret. Curtis, Ashford's driver, gives a fake alibi with a completely straight face. The social worker admits on camera that Ashford pressured her to bury a report, and Mia, the exact same woman Morgan sat with in that break room, gets pulled into an interrogation room the second detectives notice she seems too calm about her own missing daughters. You can see it on Morgan's face in that scene, this tight, angry stillness, because she made Mia a promise, and watching her own team turn on her stings personally. And can we talk about the ransom call? Mia's phone rings. A man's voice tells her to bring $200,000 by midnight, or her girls end up like Wendell. She grabs her coat to go alone, and Morgan physically stops her, presses her own phone into Mia's hand so Kaitlin can listen in from a distance. And then we watch Mia walk into a massive, empty auditorium at midnight, alone, drop a duffel bag on the stage floor exactly where she's told, and the second she turns around to look for anyone, the man is already gone. I was holding my own hand watching this. The twist? It's Curtis, the driver, and he's been in love with Mia this whole time. He didn't kill Wendell for Ashford, he did it for himself, hoping to swoop in, save the girls, play the hero, and finally win Mia over. Girl. The audacity. And Morgan cracks it wide open from something as small as where Curtis parks his car outside Mia's house. She notices the angle lines up perfectly with the mirror on Mia's dresser, meaning he's been watching her bedroom window this whole time. Nobody is safe from this woman's attention to detail, not even in a parking lot. Okay, what works? That break room scene at the very top, The one where Morgan just sits down next to a crying stranger with no idea who she is yet. It's quiet. It's easy to miss. But it's the exact reason the ransom sequence hits as hard as it does later. Morgan didn't help Mia because it was her job. She chose to, before she even knew her name. That's what makes Morgan Morgan. What doesn't fully work for me? Curtis's motive is a lot. Killing a man and terrifying 2 children to play hero and win a woman's heart? Sir, that's not romance. That's a restraining order waiting to happen. I need the writers to give their villains a little more self-awareness because that man had 0. 2 moments I am not getting over. First, the garden scene. Morgan kneeling in the dirt, going full expert on companion planting in the middle of a kidnapping investigation, and being completely right that something's buried underneath. Iconic use of a red herring. Genuinely one of the smartest clues this show has written. Second, the ransom drop. Watching Mia cross that empty auditorium alone in the dark, Morgan's phone tucked in her pocket, not knowing if Karadec can even hear her breathing. That scene is shot and paced like a full thriller, not just a procedural. I am sat. So that's episode 4, girl. Morgan once again proving she's built different. From that first quiet moment in the break room all the way to catching a killer by his parking spot. Tell me in the comments which clue you caught first, the garden or the parking spot, because I need to know I wasn't the only one yelling at my screen. Subscribe, and I will see you in the next recap. Bye, girl.